Hi, my name is Alan Porter. I'm the owner of Strategic Wealth Strategies. I'm a certified financial fiduciary and I'm master mentor of the Circle of Wealth. But what I want to show you something is today, it's called Debt Free for Life. I'm part of the Smart Advisor Group, and we have a plan to show people how to get out of debt and provide them tax-free money in a bucket that they can use to borrow for anything, a car, possibly even a house in the future. But if you want to bear with me for 1 second, I got a short PowerPoint I want to show you. Now, this is my debt free for life program. It's a short version of it. But what I want to show you is, this is of course our confidential statement. Can't even talk tonight. But introducing the debt free for life. Imagine how it would feel in your life if you would completely be debt free for the rest of your life. Think about the things you could possibly do. You know, I've never heard anybody say, "Oh my God, I love being in debt." They love telling you how much money they have, but they never tell you how much debt they have. But the problem with this debt, you're on the wrong side of compound interest. You're compounding interest for the financial institutions instead of yourself. And I want you to look at these statistics. Personal debt in America is over $16 trillion. 82% of Americans have some form of debt that is hurting their future. I think it's up to 84% right now. The amount of personal debt has increased. I think it's over 14%. And this is something that's really scary among things, because 63% of all debt belongs to women because they live longer than men. And this is something that's really scary. How are we supposed to have some type of retirement? Monthly savings has fallen by 83% in 2022. But this is what we really want. We want to have nice cars. We want to have nice things. We want to have a nice house. But here's the problem. Let's say that you earn $7,500 a month. But guess what? How much of it do you actually get to keep? You only got to keep about 4,500 because it all went to taxes, 401k, other things like that. But we all want nice things. If we want a nicer car, so we'll take out a loan application. We want nice things, put on a credit card. We want a nicer house. Well, guess what? We're going to take out a new mortgage. Remember this, between your first and last paycheck, you're going to earn a fortune. But the secret is, how much are you going to keep? Now, this is a graph put out by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. And I want you to understand something. 40% of all the money we make before retirement and after retirement is going to some form of taxes. And I have people tell me all the time, "Alan, I'm not in the 40% tax bracket." I said, "I understand that. But we've got federal tax, we've got state tax, we've got property tax, you even have tax on a pack of chewing gum." There's over 52 different types of taxes what we pay right now, and that's going to go up. So out of that 40%, then we go to 25% pays for our lifestyle, which is going to, our house, our cars, the way we dress. But here's the thing, 25% of that money is going to debt, compounding interest for someone else, the financial institutions, and not yourself. It's just like taxes. If you're paying undue taxes, that money is compounding for the federal government. I don't know what they do with it, but it's not compounding for you. But over here in the debt, that money's lost forever. It'll never compound for you, but it's compounding for the financial institutions over and over again. The banks do it every day. Being in debt is hurting you. Banks, lenders, and mortgage companies are getting rich because they understand the magic of compound interest. We see this all the time. Money owed versus money saved. Money paid to bankers and money paid to ourselves. As Einstein said, compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. Those who understand it, the bankers, will profit from it. And those who don't, the American citizen, will pay it. And guess what? 99% of America does. They pay it. But this is in the better picture, compounding interest for you instead of financial institutions. And that's what we show you in the Debt Free for Life program. Let's meet Max and Megan, a sample couple. They had too much debt. Their money is compounding for banks and credit card companies and not for them. They like nice things, but they didn't have the money to pay for those nice things. The only option they have is get deeper in debt. But here's the problem. They got, I wouldn't say great interest rates, but you got an interest rate of 22.9 in credit cards. That's probably right for most of them. Personal loan, student loan. How many have student loans? Great interest on the car payment. U.S. mortgage, 4.2%. That's not the problem. The $208,000 is not the problem. The problem is the 35.76 effective interest cost. The effective interest cost of the mortgage is over 55%. And I have people tell me all the time, well, Alan, how's that possible? Well, it's possible because it's not going to get down to the 4.2% until the last couple months of the mortgage. It's the same thing with all these bills. Their average effective interest cost is 35.76%. So what's that mean to you? It means that let's say it's 36% effective interest cost of every dollar that you spend is going to banks to compound for them and not you. Here's why debt hurts us so much. It compounds. Interest is working with the banks and lenders. It's working against everything else we're doing when it comes to saving money. So for the next few minutes, if you'll stick with me, you'll see why effective interest cost is hurting you. You learn the effective interest cost math on a 30-year mortgage, and we'll show you how the debt-free for life helped Max and Megan. Effective interest cost. Every time you borrow money, you always see the terms and conditions, the APR. Well, let me tell you what, APR is not effective interest cost. Effective interest cost is the amount amortized portion of your minimum monthly payment that is allowed to interest only. Effective interest cost. When you understand the math, you'll realize that effective interest cost is working against you when it comes to saving money. So let's look at the effective interest cost of a mortgage. A 30-year mortgage at $100,000 at 4%. What's the effective interest cost? Well, I promise you it's not 4%. Here it is. Your formula, interest divided by payment equals effective interest cost. So that's $199.64 divided by the minimum payment of $477.42 equals 41.81%. The break-even month of your 4% effective interest cost happens in month 349 of a 360 month mortgage. If your monthly interest cost is 41.8%, that means that 42% of every dollar paid as a minimum payment is going to principal and interest. It's going to interest and not principal. And it's compounding for the financial institution and not for yourself. So given the choice, would you rather stay in debt another 15 to 20 years or be debt-free forever? What would your financial future look like if you could get out of debt and stay out of debt forever? Think about the possibilities. Welcome to Debt Free for Life. What we do, it's not a debt consolidation program. What we do is we build financial models to help eliminate your debt while building personal wealth in the process. How it works, your existing budget, we use the debt snowball, something like Dave Ramsey does, but instead of contributing those payments to the next debt, we pay ourselves back in our SDIC, which is a specially designed insurance contract that accumulates interest in your favor. What if you can be debt-free for life? The secret is very simple. When you give someone else your dollar, you forever lose your ability to earn compound interest on that dollar in the future. But when the money compounds for you, it's always better than compounding for someone else. Let's go back to Max and Megan's debt report. Remember that 35.76 effective monthly interest cost? That's their problem. So what happened when they switched to the debt-free for life plan? They had totally eliminated $208,000 in debt in 4 years. 19 years of more debt versus being 100% debt-free in 4 years. What do you think? If you agree debt is hurting you, if you want to eliminate unnecessary interest, if you believe your effective interest cost each month is holding you back, let's build a model for you. We'll determine your budget and show the difference between staying in debt where you're right now versus using the debt-free for life solution. This is where the math happens. If you know the rules, you can predict the outcome. And I'm not lying. This is a free session.